I was participating in an exchange program. I was in the Navy on active duty, doing an exchange program with the Chilean Navy. And I had flown back to the States, and on my return flight, I had a layover in Panama. Amelia had a layover in Panama as well, as she was working on some studies.
I was heading down to South America with studies in mind, and I was hoping to have those 3 seats to myself. Suddenly, Anthony ends up sitting there. But very quickly, there were some traits that I picked up on. He had been working on getting better on his Spanish. He pulls out this little notebook, and the notebook has like Bible verses written in Spanish. So that was almost like his pocket tool to increase his vocabulary. And so there were some very obvious traits right away. In the moment, I was not interested at all. I mean, this guy seems complicated, and this whole Navy military life.
She was trapped next to me for about 6 or 7 hours, couldn't go anywhere. It was, the bulkhead and myself. So I was able to play guard and kind of wear her down. And here we are 13 years later having an interview with you.
So very quickly, things progressed into marriage and finding out that I was expecting our first child. So this first child was born while he was in Afghanistan. So just right there, I think it's setting a tone for our family as for what happens when plans change suddenly.
At the time, it was probably the hardest thing I had gone through. I'd been in Afghanistan about 6 months when the baby was born. I think it's kind of a precursor for the marriage. It's, life, marriage, it's always obstacles and things. You plan the best you can, but then you have to be flexible because inevitably whatever you think is going to occur is probably not going to be the case.
So we've settled in Houston. His career is well underway, and we're talking about, okay, time for me to go back to the workforce. This one is ready for preschool, and we find out that we're expecting our second child. And now with Antonio on the equation, this year that he's doing his rotations in Australia, he's leaving 1 month at a time. Antonio's 1-year-old. I'm a brand new teacher working in Sharpstown area, and it was a very hectic year. Our families are in other states. We're back in Puerto Rico, and not having that immediate family in town created like huge just lack of maybe that break that mom might need as on a weekend basis. I think that just set us up in a certain way where we're everything to each other.
I had this mental image of what I desired. Growing up in a split household, 1 week at one home, 1 week at the other, it was a high priority to have a foundation, a safe haven that they come to every single night and know that their parents are together as a team. It's a blessing to have a wife in your life who wakes up early, runs the house, feeds the family, and has a job.
It takes a team. I think a lot of times we try to put value or quantify contributions from both parts, and I think there's no way that you can do that where it comes out even. I mean, there are seasons where one has to put more effort than the other or just carry certain responsibilities compared to the other person. And I think it just comes with our role as man and wife, and we'll embrace it.